Hello, my name is Raphael. I'm a private chef. I live in West Hollywood for the last 30 years of my life. I was born in San Francisco on July 17th, 1963, and was adopted 4 days or 5 days after birth by Swiss parents. They were Buddhists on top of it. And I grew up in Switzerland, where I ended up going to culinary school and traveled throughout Europe as private chef and came back to the United States 30 years ago. It's a really amazing life story. I've never really missed my parents or looked for them, maybe because I grew up as a Buddhist and that's just not what we do. But one day my doctor says to me, "Hey, what's your medical history?" And I actually didn't know. And so I thought maybe I should do an ancestry, and that's what I did. And turns out it was life-changing. It literally derailed my life in a good way. But I didn't just find my mom or my dad or the history of my families. I found 81 family members. And that is certainly unexpected. After I signed up for my ancestry, not much happened for a year. I didn't really check either. But then one day, 2019, on February 14th, Valentine's Day, the phone rings and it is this hysterical cousin of mine, and it's my mom's side of the family. Turns out that nobody knew that my mom ever had a child, and I was the firstborn of 21 cousins, and it completely derailed my life. I went to Albuquerque immediately. That's where my immediate family is from, mother's sides. And I had to meet everybody. I quit my job, went over there, and it was awesome. They were so welcoming. It was sort of surprising. And suddenly being born as a single child and having all these people in my life, it's still not completely registering. I have to be honest about that. But it's awesome. It's really cool. They're very talented. Big jewelry family. Very talented people. That's where my need for painting, my need for arts is coming from. And while I'm in Albuquerque, 2 months into it, on Siblings Day, the phone rings again. And this time it's my sister. Turns out my dad has passed on 2 years ago, so I never had a chance to meet him, but an awesome, awesome sister. 2 brothers, a sister, me, my dad, another 21 people on my dad's side of the family. Sometimes you feel like you just want to walk away from everything and leave it. And then I have to stop myself and say, no, this is really special. Altogether, 81 people suddenly pop up in my life. It's overwhelming, it's beautiful, every word in the vocabulary fits. And I've been asked many times, would I do it again? And I said, I honestly don't have the answer to that right now. But it is awesome, really awesome. Ancestry really has changed my life. I love you, little sister. My life has changed in many ways. I look at the world very differently now. Before, you sort of look at the world around you with the eyes or from the perspective of a single person that sort of went through life, had no responsibilities, what I say on Facebook, who I talk to. And now suddenly I have to look at people and discover that they all have a story. They all have a life. They all have families, which is really awesome. It's still trying to process how with DNA we are all interlinked, interconnected. Way more so than I have ever imagined it to be. It's good. It's scary equally. It's different. But what it has brought to me these last 2 years, meeting people that are my blood, that look like me, that talk like me, even feel like me, fidget like me, enjoy the same sort of curiosities, the same peculiarities, that makes life special. And knowing my family history from a health perspective really has a big impact on me too. I mean, we all are sort of similar, we all are interconnected, but until you actually find people or find your history or go back into far of your history, that you realize how similar we really are. It's spooky, it's beautiful. I sort of feel I'm connected to everybody. Seriously, way more connected than I've ever been before. It's beautiful. It's still foreign. It's me with an accent. I'm a private chef by heart. I will always be a chef. I go back to the kitchen with this newfound sort of personality, this newfound, history. I look at the same things very, very differently. And I'm very happy. I also learned that with all family dynamics, sometimes people are a bit closer to you. Sometimes they are not as close, they're a bit more complex, a bit more complicated. It's great to have people in your life that are your blood, your gene, that think like you, feel like you, look like you, love like you. I went to many places, mostly Southeast Asia, Europe, America. And turns out my dad loved cooking and he loved plants and trees, and he was working for a forestry service for the government of the United States. I love my dad. Never had a chance to meet him yet, but through my sister and my brothers, I definitely fall in love and totally embrace my family. My cousins are truly amazing people, all of them. So talented, so nice, so kind, and even the extended family of my family are just blowing me away. Amazing people. You certainly don't expect that. I love bicycling, I love cooking, I love making paintings, beach, water, nature. And it's clear that I come from this family, there's just no doubt. Same hands, same nose, same lips. I look baffling like my mom, baffling like my dad. I think that's sort of unusual. When I met my dad's wife, which he married after I was born, my sister's mom, she screamed when I walked into the room for the first time because she couldn't believe that I just looked like her husband. Not just a little bit, but a lot like my dad. And I love it. With everything that lives around us, we are made from the same building stones, the same materials. We are all made from the same essence. And that is wonderful. I love that I have now a big family with everything that comes with it. The new perspectives, the different perspectives, the way that I have to adjust to look at things that I believed were right just for me. It's all good. I had no expectation when I started Ancestry, but I can truly say that it changed my life. To the better or the worse, I don't know that yet, but it's a good journey.